Man, oh man, I got some breaking news. Boxing referee Tony Weeks, he just reveals and exposes something that is inexcusable and should be unforgivable in the sport of boxing. A fighter basically failed a brain scan and somehow passed the brain scan after the third attempt and got knocked out. So he's explaining why he stopped the fight. Listen, I'll break it all down in this video. Definitely stay. The future is now. The Hibernation 5s by Kenichi Bear. Hybrid gaming and lifestyle headphones. Out of the box, you can connect to any console or PC. Bluetooth ready with a low latency USB adapter, color RGB, and extreme bass mode. The Hibernation 5s adjust to you. Whether you need a gaming, travel, gym, or lifestyle headphones, the Hibernations got you covered. The new Hibernation 5s, link in the description. Customize the way you hear the world. Welcome to the nation. Unforgivable. Referee Tony Weeks has brought to light something that is one of the nasty little secrets of boxing. And I'm going to jump right into the mix. Tony Weeks, let me give you the quick backstory. Vergil Ortiz made his return. He'd been out the ring 15, 17 months, and he made his return to the ring against Frederick Lawson at a new weight division, 154 pounds. Tony Weeks was the referee. On the same card, you also had Ishmael Barroso, who just quote-unquote upset O'Hara Davis. I've already made a video about that. You guys can check that on the channel. In the Vergil Ortiz main event by Golden Boy Promotions, the end came at a stoppage, a TKO stoppage, and many people thought this was a questionable, I really seen people saying this was the most premature stoppage that we've ever seen in boxing or in the last 40 years. So this blew up. Vergil Ortiz opened up with an assault, bop, bop, bop. His opponent kind of staggered from a jab, and then he started trying to open up, but his opponent was kind of on the ropes, blocking a little bit, and then Tony Weeks waved it off. So Tony Weeks got a lot of flack for this, right? He received a lot of flack for this, especially since the guy that was on the co-main, Ishmael Barroso, had a controversial stoppage, lost to Rolly Romero when Rolly got some things going. So many fans thought that Tony Weeks was basically 2 for 2. You know, like 2 controversial stoppages in recent memory definitely left a sour taste in their mouth. Tony Weeks has now come out and explained why he stopped the fight, which people are saying was premature. Tony Weeks said on his Facebook page, what the public did not know that prior to the fight, they did a brain scan on him, meaning Frederick Lawson, the opponent. And it came up that he had an aneurysm, and they did a test again, and in the same aneurysm came up. Another doctor was brought in and gave him the same examination, and he tested negative for the aneurysm, so they cleared him to fight. Wow. Boxing is cruel. Boxing is unforgiving. Boxing, you know, in certain ways is pitiful. I understand sport. I understand competition. I understand building fighters, but this ain't it. This ain't it. When do we prioritize an event to salvage a main event, and we prioritize that or the building of a fighter like Vergil Ortiz to the point where we're willing to sacrifice a fighter's potentially permanent health? I don't know what went on, but this looks fishy. You got referee Tony Weeks, and then he came out swinging because so many people were like questioning his integrity. So many people were saying referee Tony Weeks was at fault. So many people were saying that Tony Weeks needs to retire So I guess he felt compelled and had no other choice but to reveal this information. So what he's saying is the same fighter that y'all questioned me for stopping him in Vergil Ortiz fight, he had failed 2 tests, and they said they found, like, they did the CAT scan or whatever they did, an MRI, and they found like that he had an aneurysm. And I know fighters personally that have had irregular brain activity to the point where they couldn't get cleared. Another famous fighter is Edwin Valero. I believe he was in a motorcycle accident, and as a result, it left some damage on his brain. So he had trouble getting cleared in America to fight. And he ended up, I think he was fighting in Mexico and stuff like that before he passed away, right? Because he couldn't get licensed in America. Now, the question begs, where we need to look into this more, because here's the thing. California and Nevada are supposed to be the most stringent and brutal of all of the sanctioning, the commissions, I guess you could say. So since they're supposed to be the most strict commissions, it's this. It's Nevada, California, and New York in no particular order. Those are like the capitals of boxing in general, but they're also said to have the strictest commissions. So this is just something that needs to be looked into, because this is sad. We're treating fighters and leading them to the slaughterhouse, right? We're treating fighters like pieces of meat, and almost as if fighters are expendable. The match in and of itself, which I'll get to in the back half, make sure you guys stay tuned to the end of this video. The fight in and of itself probably shouldn't happen, because I'll actually break that down further in the video, but I got some other things to say before we get there. Subscribe to the channel. But it's just sad that we continue to have these things happen in world boxing. Boxing's have been around for centuries, and we can't get our stuff together and wonder why people don't always take boxing seriously. Now, this came out earlier yesterday, and Golden Boy clearly seen it, and they released this on company letterhead, and I'll enlarge it for you. Make sure you guys subscribe. So they heard the backlash because Tony Weeks came out swinging and exposed the game of boxing. Golden Boy put this out via their social medias. Frederick Lawson was cleared by a Nevada State Athletic Commission sanctioned doctor to fight on Saturday night. All other questions should be referred to INSAC. And you see the Golden Boy logo. Wow. So what Golden Boy is doing, they're basically saying the blood isn't on our hands. INSAC approved them, so they're just basically deferring to INSAC. For all future questions, you guys holla at INSAC. But the problem with that is you put on the event. Like, I understand the commission, but listen, you're not going to play. I'm not playing the semantics game. We're not going to do that in 2024. We're not going to do that. Golden Boy would know if their main event is compromised in any way. Point blank, period. For example, when we're talking about a fighter who, let's say, misses weight, right? If a fighter misses weight, then clearly the promoters have to find out, because the promoters need to, salvage the match or cancel the match and give refunds or find another opponent. But they let this man fight Vergil Ortiz, and it doesn't sound like he should have been fighting Vergil Ortiz. Now, I told you, stay tuned to the end of this video. This is his box rec. So it says 34. He's been knocked out 4 times. You guys see that right there. But one of them is clearly Vergil Ortiz, who knocked him out. But despite that, he was still had 3 losses, all three by knockout. So basically every time he lost by knockout, even before Vergil Ortiz. because the Vergil Ortiz was controversial. It was a first round controversial stoppage, right? But now it's not so controversial with Tony Weeks revealing stuff. Furthermore, Charles Hatley, who Jermell Charlo knocked out years ago, just fought him in 2021 and knocked him out. So he was only 2 fights removed from that. And then now he's fighting Vergil Ortiz. Plus, if you dig deeper, he's already been stopped before by Kevin Bezier, who Kell Brook beat already. And he already, the other thing is, he was a guy who moved up in weight. So yes, Vergil Ortiz moved up in weight, but he's clearly the fresher fighter. Vergil Ortiz is undefeated, and you had this small guy who doesn't look durable, and now we find out he couldn't pass a brain scan. Wow. This is bad news. And then now Go to Boy, all they could say is like, hey, check with INSAC. But you guys put on the event, so I think people are going to be checking with everybody. That's my time.